weather is really dry, right? But still it's very humid and still it's very hot. So because of that humidity, and then we have a lot of mosquitoes outside. And then I know, even though I go out to the backyard and then try to water the plant, and mosquito are just bothering me so loud. So I keep moving to get away from the mosquito, and then. But yeah, I hope that still, even though the weather is a little bit cool down, but you guys can take care of yourself, and then yeah, whatever weather is, I hope that you guys are moving forward step by step. Yeah, today we're gonna talk about the curriculum design. So last week we talked about what is the curriculum development, what the basic element we gotta consider, what kind of and the conception, academic conception, and other conception we need to remember that there was a Kentucky state and academic kind of department and educational department. They how do they develop the curriculum, and they see the outcome evidence, learning, models, learning, So they use the model, right, and then. Today, maybe we already talked about a little bit in depth in beginning of the class introduction of the curriculum design, and then we're gonna a little bit dig in deeper today. And sorry, my computer is frozen, and then let's see, go back. Let me reopen up curriculum. Here is. So curriculum design is the arrangement of the elements of a curriculum. So we just think about first year, second year, third year, and then which class start from the and then which end up with which class, like this, and then the arrangement of the component or element of a curriculum. So usually the component or element included curriculums are aims, goals, and objects. Already we learned from the development, the last class, and subject matter and content, what kind of class, and then we don't think about specific things about the content, right? And the learning activity, and then evaluation though. So all kind of the nature of these elements and pattern of organization in which they are brought together as a unified curriculum constitutes the curriculum design. So curriculum design, briefly speaking, is put all content together in order, right? That is a curriculum design, and then before we jump into the specific models, and then there is a key principle that we remember, and what is the how can we develop the balanced curriculum, and that one is kind of balanced mean that we have the proper intellectual and moral and sometimes spiritual, and depends on the organization, and the athletics and creative, emotional and physical development is equally important. How can we develop a balanced curriculum, right? And that's we got to concern about, consider about, when we develop a curriculum. What about the curriculum? Depends on, sometimes it's too easy, it's really boring for some student, and sometimes too hard, it would mean that it's kind of frustrated and disappointed, but still the design is rigorous, meaning that it's challengeable. Depends on the student population of the student, but still seek to developing intradisciplinary habit of mind, and sometimes the subject matter is taught in a way that is faithful to its discipline. I mean that it's a kind of college level, but still think about rigorous mean that it's not too easy, it's not too hard, but still challengeable, right? And depends on the educational level, but still even though we designed in this way, but also practitioner teachers is really important how kind of all this curriculum can digest into their class, but still should be rigorous. And then what about coherent? And sometimes to think of each class is coming first. There was a beginner level, and intermediate level, and advanced level, and like this. And then just if there is no coherent, and then it's hard to learn, especially in the science class, right? And it's not a topic to topic. What about history class? And you jump up and here and there, and it's really confusing. It's hard to understand like this. And then so if it's a coherent mean that make the class connect to the previous class and next class, right? And that is really important. And what about the vertically integrated and vertically integrated like this? And then just think about in science class, right? And let's think about English class, and for the foreigners and ESL class, and there's a language there, and then college English class, and there's analytic and critical learning, and creative writing, and there's a different level. But there's vertically integrated. You cannot. It's related to the coherent, but kind of there's a connection is there, and develop little by little, but put together, right? And science class, too. What about appropriate? And then if your education is not relevant, then it's too hard, too easy, and then it's not effective, right? So just try to avoid making unreasonable demands by matching level of the challenge to students' current level of maturity and knowledge. So you gotta really need to adjust, right? And then when you design curriculum in your organization, just think about who is a beginner, who is intermediate, and advanced, right? Which one is which one is kind of, if you skip and beginner, so when beginner comes and then there's no way to learn about basic knowledge like this, and there's a lot of different people and diverse people and the capacity is different, but still we gotta know which one is the kind of appropriate depends on the student level. And then curriculum is really needed to focus, and we need to deal with the specific knowledge. Sometimes we gotta know what the social reconstruction is the concept, and then what kind of knowledge and what kind of values needed for the society, and then and then really and focus on the knowledge that we need, but that is a need is manageable, not too beyond and too low, right? So teachers should be delivered the knowledge, really important things, step by step, but really which one is really big pictures, and then how can we develop the language, and just maybe different, whether it's deductive or whether it's inductive, and then still we gotta really focus on the material. What about the relevant? And then this curriculum is really valued outcome is kind of is to the student. It's teaching taught in the classroom is provide appropriate appropriate opportunity for the student, right? So sometimes like vocational, especially vocational education, and then it's not relevant and it's hard, right? Just think about my daughters and take the EMT, emergency medical technician class, and they're really focused, and then they teach the knowledge and they teach the skills, and then they have the practicum, and then after that they can go to get a job, and they can drive the ambulance, and they provide the basic emergency treatment, and then deliver to the patient to the hospital like this. And then basically when you design the curriculum, just these 7 things: balanced, and then rigorous, and then coherent, and vertically integrated, appropriate in each level, and really focus on the and then relevant, and then really what they learn, what they need, right? And relevant to their interest. That is a basic key concept, the principle that we need to consider when we develop their curriculum designs. There is 2 design forces, and the first one is a horizontal organization, and the second is a vertical organization. Just think about horizontal organization means that it's like a scope of horizontal integration. Maybe just think about it's if you take the science class like this, and then first year science class and second year science class, and just think about it. Maybe if you follow the step, and then there's almost connected each level. Each one of the level is too high, and then it's hard to do. That level is kind of need the basic knowledge of the other science class, right? And then you gotta kind of adjust integrate the same level. So that's why. What is the relationship between chemistry? His example is chemistry, biology, and physics and geology in the lower secondary school science curriculum. Just think about and how can we teach all together. And then when they go to next level, and then next level is coming there is integration too. So how much of each is required and how are they interrelated? Right? Interrelated. There is a horizontal organization. So alternatively, and if may ask what is the balance between subject in the primary school and how much of each should be studied at any one time given the basic skill of reading and writing to be mastered, right? And that's horizontal organization. What about the vertical organization? Let's think each way if you come to college and then was first year introduction of class some psychology. If you major in bio class, maybe general biology, and they have orders there, right? And if you finish second years and then you mastered, you finished all the basic science, and then what about the third year? Maybe you can take the one more specific area, generics, and then heredity, like this, and then you can take more specific classes, based on the basic science. So horizontal means there's a first year class is the same level and put together, and the one is the vertical organization is about first year, second year, third year, fourth year, and then there is a coherent integration, right? That's a vertical organization though. That's the two forces, and then the type of curriculum designs, and then okay, what kind of time is there? And we already mentioned about some type of designs in the beginning of the class, and then here is subject-centered design. Subject-centered means that maybe like a typical college and elementary schools, and there is subject designs, and there is the oldest and most widely used form for curriculum organization found in schools and education system. So this is enjoying a long tradition, at least in the Western world. And if you study at college and think about what subject is there, and if you major in elementary like this, and science and English and social science like this, right? And physical education like this, and about subject, and then there's a lot of majors in college, and psychology major, bio majors, and any engineering, computer science majors, and whatever. And there is subject is here. They try to all subjects together and make horizontal and vertical kind of organization, and then make a curriculum, right? For first year and second year and third year, there is a specific subject is there, and like the psychology major I did in here, and then in the beginning, so you gotta take like introduction of psychology and general psychology, and then also introduction of mind. I took the mind and brain like the psychobiology. It's not recorded the basic level. It's not the psychobiology. Psychobiology is like fourth year and senior year. There is a psychobiology, but it's very in depth. It's about there is a basic stuff, and the second year, and then you could go to specific topics and maybe child and developmental psychology, and then like social psychology, and there's a different level over there, and then third year and fourth year, and based on the second year, first year, and topics, and then you can go to the third and fourth years. Yeah, that is subject designs. So subject design is based on the classification and organization of subject matter into discrete groups and what have called subject, right? And for the psychology, and I told you, introduction of psychology and general psychology 1, 2, that's the first year, right? And then there is a experimental psychology, right? But there is a previous classes there, and then mind and body, that one is related to psychobiology, is an upper level. There is a human sexuality, it's different from this one. We had a human sexuality relationship, and then that's required by the human sexuality, like this. And then there's an abnormal psychology and developmental psychology and child psychology. Yeah, developmental psychology, and there's child psychology, adolescent psychology, and then like this, and then different, right? And organizational psychology, and there's different topics, but they try to provide a program how psychology contribute to kind of each areas, and then provide studies, right? Cognitive psychology like this. So emphasis in subject design is placed on the acquisition of subject matter knowledge, and content is structured by sequencing. We already told you that is sequencing means that also vertical organization, right? So usually another subject-centered design is academic discipline design. Is kind of the same category. Is that this is what is really specific schools and special schools, and then this approach is organized curriculum is essentially post-Second World phenomenon, gaining great support in the 1960s. It's not. Maybe if you go to like not for the elementary level, the primary and secondary schools, and sometimes there is some curriculum like that, but really gay program is like really focus on art and social science, environment. Even though they are elementary school, there's specific programs there, but I don't know how it works. But there's elementary school level. This is emphasize the role played by those distinct entities called academic disciplines. Academic discipline. So if you go to that's elementary here in the elementary school, and there is even the gay program is who talented, and then try to provide the extracurricular, and then they kind of prepare those kind of stuff, and then if you go to higher secondary and high school, and then they could see what is the magnetic programs and any program, especially there, and but it's not like a specific. They don't follow specific discipline, but it's similar with this one. That's why I mentioned, and then these clearly delineated terms of knowledge and skills and values, right? And specific academic disciplines, and this one provided how to discipline things, what research is done, and how the research is carried out, how data is analyzed, and how research is reported, and so on. It means that it's really specific discipline and followed and see, and right. So the result is that the school would produce a mini version of academic disciplines. So there is a 1960s, and then but I cannot see kind of program now, but I don't know whether this kind of program is available now, but still, yeah. And but if you go to high school, and there is depends on some program is there, and special program is there, so IB program and AP class program, but it's a little bit different from they started a little bit in that, but still they don't follow specific disciplinary, right? That is it's a subject-centered design program, but maybe this one is like if you go to specific a special school, like high school, like a science school, maybe, and any special schools, maybe you can have opportunity to learn like this. What about learner-centered design? Learner-centered design is a little bit different from subjective design, and then it's really curriculum design generally views society in democratic terms, firstly individual being a natural good, and in the it's a really democratic society, and everybody is equal right, and then they are really good, naturally good. That's a basic basic assumption of understanding of human nature. And learner-centered design emphasizes individual development, and the approach is kind of organizing curriculum emerge from their needs. Who is a learner, right? And we're gonna, it's like a psychological, human liberty is a psychological, the study of psychology, the needs, right? But the three foundations, one of this one, and then we gotta learn who they are and what kind of method is best for them and what they need and all kind of stuff. And then that's a learner-centered design. And if you use this design in a public school, maybe it doesn't work, right? Maybe vocational school or specific, maybe specialized school is maybe works, but it's not for the public schools. But at least, learner design is they care about learners' need and interest and the purpose of the student, right? That is the learner's design. So, which method is really good, and what content they really need. So, learner's design, learner-centered design, there is activity experience design. What's an activity experience design is that this approach is based on determining the genuine need and interest of a learner, in which which is drawn from the basis of the curriculum. So depends on the learners. Sometimes they can learn faster and different way from the others, right? And there is a really special needs though. So we gotta know that they are interested in which programs they need to develop their abilities. That's why some of them they just through the lecturing and learn and apply the knowledge to the real setting. There's no problem. Sometimes some of them is really learn from the activities and making and seeing like this, and yeah, that's why. And the activity experience design is really special design for the learners. And but this one is like a little bit so this one is really activity design is really lags what the former subject design, right? Because of the really focus on the activity, and then maybe some knowledge delivered, and then maybe they learn like vocational school, and then you gotta know how to do that, and that's the activity experience design. And then if you wanna get a Microsoft and Office kind of certificate, and then you gotta learn, understand the basic stuff, and you gotta do it. And later on, you're gonna take a test whether you are qualified for the certificate, right? So we gotta really know that curriculum developers and students, and they gotta kind of plan together, and then know the students and skills, knowledge supposed to teach versus as the learners and requires and needs them, right? That is activity experience design. And once humanistic design is a little bit similar, and humanistic design emphasizes meeting with individual needs in conducive support the learning environment. Really focus on learners, and maybe every learners is different, and their ability is different, and that's why they try to consider need and their ability, and then provide right meeting of the individual need. So really, just think about if you have 30 people in classroom for the second grade, and maybe I don't know how to run the classroom. How can you pay attention to the someone who really need attention? And then I have experienced my kids, and then my kids are in kindergarten, and then it's really not good experience. Teacher gives a really lot of attention to kids are really smart and doing work very well, right? And my daughter was is not that smart at the time, because I don't know. So she really wants to get her attention from teacher, but teacher doesn't give her much attention, and kind of she's really frustrated. And then once we talked to the teacher, and then her teacher, she said, there's a lot of smart kids, and they need more attention to develop their ability. So that's right. But what about the kids that like my kids, and then really and need to develop, because she's not pre-exposed to other material, right? Well, we don't send them to the kids with the commons, other academic stuff, and then they let them play and let them their level, and they were kindergarten. My daughter was kindergarten, and then I don't know, so kind of frustrating, and later on, maybe I don't know, once a lot of things happens, and then they don't know my daughter's abilities and academic abilities. Maybe later on she's found out that how she was excellent in academic ability, and then she's gonna be really surprised whether anyway. So like this, and then humanist approach and to the curriculum design also incorporate all the beginner experience design with additional factor of providing support environment for the individual learners, right? You gotta learn into the classroom, and then maybe someone is really smart and ready to go another level, give them special attention, but someone is really trying to catch on, learn new things, and we gotta consider individuals, right? That's the learner-centered and humanistic design. So learner-centered design, and then there's activity experience design, and then humanistic designs. So there is a totally different educational design. Can you start? And subject design is really like maybe you already take the primary design and no problem, right? But learner-centered design is I don't know if you have many kids in the classroom, how can you do that? But maybe special education program that design not many people, and maybe 10, less around 10 people in the classroom, and maybe you can do it. There is another design is a problem-centered design. What is a problem-centered design? And there is two kind of designs there, and then thematic design. Thematic design is based on the artificiality of the other curriculum design and providing appropriate learning experience which reflect what we experience in real life. So there is curriculum design should reflect the type of experience that we encounter in our lives in order to useful and meaningful. And thematic design is like this, and then think about when you teach kids and basic skill about how to maybe if you try to teach basic economy on kids, and then maybe you can take the kids to the supermarket, and then let them see the choose and what they want to buy and pay and like this, and then you can come back home and come back to school, and they talk about the basic how the economies works, right? That's one of the examples is that one. So what they experience in real life, maybe first grade and second grade, third grade, and not that much, but still they have to deal with basic stuff. But think about when they grow up, and then like when they go into teenager, and then there's a lot of things, and there's interest in bodies and basic on they start working and all kind of stuff is there. They are exposed one by one, and then they need to know how it works, and then provide kind of education and what, and to really easy to connect it and then make the knowledge is useful and meaningful, you know. So that is a thematic design. So and so significant themes may be based on studies, which provide insight to the real world. I said, like not that this one is kind of little kids and cannot understand, and maybe secondary education, maybe primary, maybe at least the 5th grade and 6th grade, and they can understand like topics and urbanizations and war and pollutions and peace and transportation and health, lifestyle and family life and all kind of real things that we experience in daily lives. That's a thematic design, right? And another design is a problem design. Problem design is that learners should encounter substantial real life problem in order to understand the world. What is a problem? Like heat warning. How come it's so hot? What happened in California like this? That's a problem, right? And we talk about global warming, and we talk about electric cars, all kind of. And just like the thematic approach, the problem-centered design argues for a more meaningful basis to curriculum design in order to involve learners in what they perceive as relevant. So in daily life, and they can see a lot of maybe racial issues and diversities, and think about what you learn and when they are going through, right? So there is one problem that they meet and they learn and solve the problem is really that's education. But just think about the education that we provide at schools, not this level and basic, the primary and secondary education is it's a helpful. It's not sometimes it's not related to real life. Maybe already happened, and maybe they can learn from the histories, and but still, but a lot of material is not related to real life, and but still sometimes it seems not related to real life, not relevant to real life, and but still develop their also intellectual abilities and then logics and kind of see the different point of view and then different things, right? That's the purpose of education, though. So problem design is kind of distinct emphasis and place upon the concept of identifying and addressing and resolving the multifarious problems. Okay, so still sometimes like racial issues, it's hard to solve the problem, right? Because there is infrastructure issues about the related issues, and then, but still like this, and then sometimes like this one, TV is kind of a problem. It's connecting to my computer. How can you do that? It's real life issues, right? So we gotta find out which one is a problem, right? And then solve the problem, and then teach me, you gotta do this one, and then that's fixed, right? That's a problem design. So problem-centered design is a thematic design and problem design. That kind of design is there, and So another thing is core designs, right? So core learning designs, and then if you see the American education, and you can see that the set of common learning, knowledge, skill, values that should be provided to all learners in order for them to function effectively in society, right? So I don't know, and so when I was in elementary school and public school, and we have a lot of subjects there, but I came over here, and then we can see the depends on the district, but school district, but when I was in elementary school, I had art class, I had PE class, and I had music class, but my kids don't have kind of class. Art class is once a month, and PE class every week, and there's no music class, right? But yeah, I had kind of a subject, and science class, and there is ethics class, and there is basic Korean language class and math class like that. But I can see my daughters, and then also English class, and science class, and sometimes PE class, and once in a while art class, not every week, and PE class is coming every week like this. So set of common learning that should be provided all learners in order for them to function effectively in society, right? So maybe we got a question like this: why should it be included in the core class? And how large should it be? How large should the core be? So what percentage of the total content within the written curriculums? Like art classes like this, and once every other month, every month, so twice a year, twice a month, twice a semester. I don't know. And I can see some school district has, like Orange County district has like a orchestra program, but my district, my kids district, didn't have the orchestra program. They have just a band program, right? And it's not that popular though. And then, so why should it be excluded from the core? Why should it be included into the core like this? And it's a core required all learners. And we gotta question it, and we gotta answer it. That's the core design. So typically, the core consists of English, mathematics, science, and social studies. So equivalent subjects such as history or geography and physical education, I already told you. So in here, and they have 5 classes, right? There is no any history, and there is no any geography. Maybe so they included in the social class, social studies. So English, mathematics, science, social studies, and physical education. That's a core design. So national core curriculum design is let's think about in America is national common core is a set of academic standards for what every student is expected to learn in each grade level, and from kindergarten to the high school, So when they go up, and then I know they have history class, and they have a different class, and then my kids are in high school, and they had a history class, world history, and American history like that. And sometimes they have a government class, and included in social studies. So they cover math, English language art, and the standards are publicly available to read. So that's the national core curriculum designs, and maybe different countries have different core design, right? And core classes, and I already told you in Korea, and we had maybe Korean class is every day, and math class every day, but music class once a week, and PE class is once a week, and art class once a week, like this, and we had class. Maybe seems like more balanced, more kind of opportunities, but I don't know. Another is a content-based program or the outcome-based program, and there is I got the how they works, and then the outcome-based program is a kind of specific and measurable representing levels. And okay, outcome-based means that we gotta achieve this level, right? Specific and it's measurable. But content-based program is like there is no specific, not necessarily measurable, and typically global statement or the list of the conceptualized and objectivities. It's not just general things, general education like this. You don't have to specific, but at least they are exposed and learned and they are fine. That's a content-based program. And what about the instructional content? It's really outcomes matter for the outcome-based curriculum, and content-based program is subject matters based. Subject matters really matter. So just think about how many was a balanced education we can provide and expose different subjects, right? And you don't have to be excellent, but still expose and learn something. That's a content-based program. And what about the amount of time provided for instruction? Learner continues until the outcome can be demonstrated. Learn and learn and learn. But the content-based curricula is the fixed time limit, semester and terms, right? Maybe quarters, quarter term, and quarters 3 times, 4 times in a year, and semester 2 times a year, like this, tri-semester like this. And that usually public education is like this, and it's hard to measure everything based on the outcome. Even though there is we had objectivities there, and we carry out the basic outcomes, but outcome may be different. Depends on the student. Some students are really excellent and achieving the outcome is like over 90%, and some students are B level, some students C level, and usually C is okay. This is passing. Below C is coming out. That's the problem, right? What about the mode of instruction? And teacher as a facilitator of learning, the outcome based, it's not a facilitator, but mean that student is participate actively in the class, and then they present, they try to learn like this, and teacher is a facilitator, and use the variety of the instructional technique and groups, right? It's not a formally, write down on the board and and you have to give them all information and let them write down and memorize. It's not like that, right? And what about the content-based program is based on the teachers as a transmit of specialized information, like me. We have the content-based curriculum, right? And maybe outcome-based curriculum is like special vocational and program. What about the focus of the instruction? And outcome-based program is instruction is what? What the learner needs to learn to achieve outcome. That's really clear instruction, right? What about the content-based program? Curriculum is that the teacher is able and like to teach, and depends on the teacher. And maybe there's a curriculum is there, and then maybe what you could teach, and even though there's a specific and instructional object is there, and but still not about much, but provide a lot of different things. Maybe content level, content-based curriculum is more like general education and like undergraduate education and whatever. What about the outcome-based programs and needs above graduate school level? That is really specific, right? In terms of higher education. What about the instructional material? So variety of text, media, and real life material based on the various learning styles. That's outcome based. And then content based is a narrow sources material, text or text workbook, like we use the textbook, right? But I try to get a lot of different things because from the website and Googling and then just our book try to give you and basic three of the program curriculum development, the model of curriculum development, but I try to get the different things and let them know, let you know, here's a different, a little bit different, they use this model and this model, they develop their own things like this, right? What about feedback on learners' performance and result report immediately after the performance in understandable terms and delayed feedback? So sometimes in school education we take a test, right? It's about the content base is a little bit different from the outcome base, but school education is like public education, always taking tests and then show how much you achieve through different evaluation standard, right? What about assessment? Criterion, reference, interpretation of assessment indicate the progress in terms of the outcome of the learning continuum. But no reference assessment based on the relative performance of others. Okay, you have a curve and then top a certain percent is A and certain percent B and like this, and then relative the performance of others, right? But criterion references and interpretation of assessment, but it doesn't matter how others are doing, depends on how you do like this assessment. That's outcome based. Exit criteria is a learner demonstrate a specified and competence outcome as specified level on a continuum. But maybe if you go to vocational program and there's a really outcome-based education, and you gotta learn some knowledges and you gotta learn some skills, right? You gotta demonstrate, and then if you fail, then you're not gonna get certified, right? And final assessment in grade or the percentage, how many percent you got right. I mean, maybe if you fail, and this one is a content-based, you will not fail, and you gotta do. Well, if you had a D, it's okay. Maybe if you get a D, and then you can replace like this in college educations. Learning emphasis, and then learning needed to develop the communication, inquire, and conceptualizing, listening, and problem-solving learning skills. Learning is encouraged to acquire fixed body to over the knowledge and transmit under the control of the teachers. And outcome-based is like a special program at school, and some school really orient these things, and it's really pushes students a lot, try to teach them not let them conceptualize their learning, right? And you gotta know the whole process. But kind of challenging for them, but usually, public school, like they don't provide like this education, but more toward the content-based program. But if you go to private school from the early childhood, and then maybe they are kind of shaped in this way. So my daughters went to college and private college, and then they said that starting is really hard, and they never exposed in that kind of education, and really challengeable. It was really challengeable. Anyway, that is outcome-based programs, and then learner responsibility in outcome-based curriculum is learner needs to develop independence and responsibility, self-monitoring, how they do it. But content-based curriculum is like the learner is responsible following the predetermined course of learning. So little bit different. Just I want you to introduce the kind of what outcome-based curriculum. What is outcome-based curriculum? And then there is another word that says content-based curricular programs, and then just introduce what it's like, and then some, not exactly all the criteria falls in the outcome-based or the content-based, but there is a basic orientation that the curriculum has, right? And this is the basic program that the design. So here is the curricular design under the outcome-based education. So OBE. Here is just think about the house, and then all the way top is a loop, and the schools, visions, and missions, right? Is there. And then what about the program education? The object is there. What is the object? Right? And what is the program outcome is clear. And then if you are working on working through this one, and then also graduate, when you graduate, and then you're going to demonstrate this outcome. And then for that, learning attributes, and you're going to the whole process, and there was a course 1, course 2, and course 2, there's an outcomes there. Maybe first year, second year, third year, fourth year, right? And there is outcome-based education, and they really push, and then let them be at a certain level of get a certain level of education, and they want to equip the student like this. And it doesn't work. Maybe next time it works, maybe I can show you. So at least there is we needed to know the curriculum design is about we had subject design and the learner centered design and the problem centered design and we got a core design and then outcome based design and another word is there is content based. Content based seems like the subject design. And what about another one is backward design is design is a little bit similar to the outcome design but a little bit different. Backward design is that usually we start with the goal and then and how can we achieve this educational goal, and then there is content is there, and then overnight, and then we implement, and then evaluate, right? There is a kind of logic, but backward design is, and they think about why, like outcome level, outcome, like this, and outcome-based education, and then they think about what are they expecting, and what kind of outcome they wanna, the student gonna demonstrate at the end of their school year. So identify the desired outcomes, right? And what is the outcome we are expecting, what we wanna fulfill, right? And then just think about big ideas and skills. And then because of the outcome is there, and then we had determined the acceptable what is what are they doing? How can we determine that they are achieving little by little? What is the evidence? So continuing assessment task, right? We got a outcome is there, and we provide education, and then what is acceptable education? There, it's doing right and doing, and then there is a learning event, and what is the planning, learning experience, and instruction, right? It's totally opposite way though, backward design. So I learned this one at school while I'm studying, and I took the curriculum design in cross-cultural setting, cross-cultural education, and then that was pretty interesting though. But somehow it's really effective, but sometimes I don't know. But maybe in certain topics and short program, short education, curricular is like 1 semester and just a few months, classroom, maybe it's really effective, like project. And you cannot see the specific template of the lesson, plan template, and there is I can read for you guys, and design, what is student will be able to independently use their learning, and this company establish the goals, and then what is the desired outcomes, right? And the enduring understand and learning the goal of the lesson, unit, or course. There is established goal is there, right? And there is you can see the one, there is a transform and meaning, and acquisitions, and three part of their content you need to define. There is a transfer is a student will be able to independently use their learning. Okay, they students eventually what demonstrate what they learning. So this one transfer mean that refers to how students will transfer the knowledge from their lesson, units, course, and apply it outside of the context of the school course, right? That is the it's really what they learn and they can demonstrate outside of the class course. And meaning, content meaning, there is understanding and there is essential questions, and then student will understand what. And there's a understanding refers to the big ideas and specific understanding student will have when they complete lesson unit 1, and how much they understand when they completed the lessons, right? And essential questions mean that the provocative question that foster inquiry, understanding, and transfer of learning. And this question typically frame of lesson unit course are often revisited and revisit. And if students attain the established goals, they should be able to answer the questions, essential questions. So they need to demonstrate as a transfer, right, in the outside the class, and then they need to know how much understand, and then also essential kind of questioning, and then they should answer the question. And that's a desired and result, outcome. And another is acquisition is the what? Student will know what? The key knowledge is the knowledge student will acquire from the lessons. What they acquire, key knowledge and skills, right? And the key skills student will acquire from the units class, and then so three ways of the check how they learn what they really want, and then what is the transfer and the meaning, how much understand, and then they can answer about what they learn, and then how can show the knowledge and the skills, right? That's a desired result. What about the evidence and assessment? There is an evaluative criteria is there, and then the various types of criteria that student will be evaluated, and then there is a lot of criteria. They check whether they achieve their academic goal or not, and educate you. There is a performance task, and then there is another evidence. The performance task is that, and of any performance task, the student will complete, demonstrate the desired understanding, or demonstrate they have attained the goals. The performance tasks are typically large assessment that coalesced by various concepts and understanding, like large project or papers. And then maybe they could prove, they could use a project, they could use their knowledge and project, and then the papers. That's a performance test, and then one of the assessment evidence, and then another maybe that type of evidence will be show if students have demonstrate achievement of the directed result. This includes the quiz, test, and homework, like this. And then there's a basic test that we know. That is evidence. So maybe project, paperwork, and maybe quiz and test like work, right? And there is just design is a backward, right? And then what's a teaching plan, learning plan, and you gotta do it. So this encompasses the individual learning activities and instruction strategy will be employed. This is lecture, discussion, and problem solving section too. So there is you can see the class note, and then I put some time plan, and then basic what they needed to do. And there is a paperwork design. It's pretty interesting, but I don't know which one is really effective, and then maybe which one is really effective, but still just think about which design you're gonna use. Depends on the institution's characteristic and the orientation. So maybe they need to choose a right design, but sometimes they need to, what is the main, another one is a kind of complementary. So maybe you can make a mixed team, and maybe you can really focus on the one. Maybe like if you have a small class and like in public schools, and then maybe you can use a subject centered and learner centered design. But if you have a specific vocational and other specific program, then really learner centered design, maybe special education like this, and then and there is a lot of different designs you can use in curriculum development, and then that's for the curriculum development. Okay, so curriculum, curriculum, right? So this is a curriculum design. This is not a curriculum development, right? It's a curriculum development. We had different models, but this is a curriculum design. Inside curriculum design, one part of the design of the curriculum development, right? So I hope that you can think about different things. Maybe I don't know how much you guys had experience like the specific curriculum design, but maybe I'm usually exposed to the subject-centered curriculum design. But I learned the pedagogy design. So I hope that you guys enjoyed and learned something from this curriculum design, and try to think about what you had before, and then maybe it should help to understand the curriculum design. All right, so today we learn about curriculum design. Maybe next week we're gonna go a little bit detailed. So from today, and we talk about the curriculum design next week, and we're gonna talk about the situational analysis. And because we followed the book was the print books, and then he really suggested cyclical models, and then start with the situational design. So I'm trying to follow his book, and then next week we're gonna see the more specifically the situational analysis. All right, so you guys have some idea about how you develop a program, whether it's big or small, whether it's long term or short term, and just give you idea and kind of formulate and brainstorm, and then kind of sometimes you don't know what kind of component the elements you don't know. Just write down and then stick on the wall, and then you can see the brainstorm, and then put together, and it comes out really great, right? So, all right. You guys take care of yourself very well, and